Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video, welcome to my garage. In this video, there's two things that I specifically want to get done on Mauler. Let me pull the camera off the tripod there so I can show you exactly what they are. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been fitting up some of these body panels onto Mauler's chassis. And what I want to get done today is I want to build the third, I'm going to call this a template. So I'm going to have three major templates holding things in place here. This one is done. This one is done. I need to make this template right here. And then I need to, right now you can see these are just going flat across the top. I need to make pieces that go on top of here that will have close to the curvature that the Volkswagen roof will have. And then when I have those up there, I want to actually grab the roof and I want to set it up there so that I can start visualizing how this stuff is all going to come into play. And then what I'm trying to do is some things like this door is just kind of propped up here right now. This quarter panel is actually bolted in place. Got 3 bolts there, so that's fairly accurate. But these templates are made really accurate and they're symmetrical, because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to line up these body panels so that they're very accurate, or they're really where they need to be, because it's real easy. You know, these are just metal skins at this point and they're pretty flimsy. So without making some templates or some jigs that are very accurate, these are really flat on the top, and like I said, based off the center line of the chassis, they're symmetrical from side to side, so that when I put all these pieces on here, you know, it won't be leaning to one side or the other. And then once I have all this put in place, then I can start building the chassis back to hold those panels in place. Forget about the front end right now. This is still just clamped in place, and it's not even really, it's just here for visualization purposes. It's not real accurate yet. But the 2 quarters, the 2 doors, and the roof, these 5 pieces I want to get mocked up really accurately. Actually, once I have those, I'm going to take this back off, and then starting with the structure right here that's going to come around and tie into the doors and the roof, I want to start with that and then work my way back for all of this structure. Once I have that stuff, then I'll take the fiberglass front end, because the fiberglass front end is the least accurate piece of all. It's these 5 pieces that I want to get as accurate as possible. Then I'll bring that on. So I'm going to set the camera up here, and the first thing I'm going to do is build this piece right here. All right, now you can see I've got this piece in here. This is centered on the center of the frame, so it's symmetrical from side to side. All this piece is doing right now is it gives me a reference on the door as to how high it needs to be. So when I set up the door on that side, I know that I need it to be at this elevation so that I know the doors are level. Now what I need to do is I'm going to stack a piece on top of here, which will show me how high it needs to be right here. And I think it'll be kind of like this one It'll just give me a reference point of where the roof is going to meet. And then again, just like down here, that foam will allow me to keep the door on the other side at the same height, but more importantly, because these are centered, it'll show me, you know, how far this way the door needs to go. So I'm going to cut this piece right now. All right, I think I'm good to go. I've got the 3 jigs in place. I've got the radius pieces on top. I cut those in quarters and they're separate pieces and they're glued. They're hot glued on real lightly because I'm thinking that when I have the roof up here, I might have to pop some of these out and shorten them or whatever. I can't imagine that these are going to be perfect as is. So I put them in there in a way that I can just pop them out. I took the door off so that I can get in here. I think I'm going to grab the roof and hopefully just be able to kind of jockey it up over here. It's actually kind of heavy. I think the steel roof probably weighs 35 or 40 pounds. The fiberglass roof on ratchet, you can, with one arm, you can pick it up and walk it off to the side. The steel roof is too heavy. I can't do that. It's just too heavy. So I think I'm gonna have to come over here with it and just kind of set it and slide it and work it. I can't think of any neighbors that I can go grab. Plus they're not real keen on being on video and I want to film this. So I think I'm just gonna see if I can just muscle it on. We'll see. But everything is, I think, ready to go. So I'm just going to set up the camera and see what I can get done. Ooh, that's painful on the old arm. Alright, so I've got it up there now. It went pretty well, actually. It's heavy, like I said, but I was able to get it up there and kind of set it on the foam and move it over. I haven't squared it up or anything. This is all I'm going to get done for this weekend. I know in this video all I did was play with foam, but it was actually, somehow it was a lot of work. Anyways, now that I've got it on there, and I did have to add a little chain fall here to kind of take some weight and pull it forward a little bit. There's not a lot of pressure on there, but what was happening is when a Volkswagen roof sits like this, there's more weight down here than there is over there. So depending on what it's sitting on, it was trying to fall back, and it was pulling on all three of these templates, and they were not acting like they were cool with that. And I was trying to shimmy it up, but every time I did, it just tried to pull everything back down. So I put this on there, and I just give it a little bit of a encouragement to come this way, and then I was able to get everything, because these should be straight like that, and before it was about 1.5 inches here, and no matter what I did, as soon as I let go, this roof would just pull the templates back. So this is good now. And the gaps aren't too bad. I mean, if you look at this, you know, when I actually make the tube in here and then the tabs, they'll be about 1/4 inch apart. So that's not too bad, actually. Everything seems squaring up pretty good. Little something's going on back here. The quarter, I think just because all of the metal behind it that held its shape is gone, this quarter wants to pull in real hard. I'll have to make sure. The roof itself is a lot thicker, and it's still got the rain gutter, so it holds its shape a lot better. So I'm using the roof to dictate what the shape is going to be. So I'll just have to make sure when I run the tubes back here that I put enough tabs on here for that to be able to get in shape, because it wants to get real tight there, but it has a big gap here. Not a big deal. I can, you know, when I am working on this, I'm probably going to have strips of sheet metal in here that I'll have temporary screws on both sides so that I can get a real consistent gap in there, so that, because I need it to be pretty accurate when I start rolling these tubes, because I want the tubes to be really tucked up in there tight. And so I have to have things right where they need to be. But I need to square up like this point here, right where this comes down, needs to line up right with there. So I'll need to plumb bob that to set its distance this way, and then I'll need to plumb bob something in the middle to get it squared up this way. Then I will bolt both of the door skins on, and that'll show me how it's. So anyways, there's a lot of prep to do at this point, but getting this roof on was a big step, because that I couldn't go any farther on these quarters and the doors until I had the roof on there, because that really dictates the line, and I knew that I needed something to get it pretty symmetrical. And you saw me laying all this stuff out to the best of my ability to keep it symmetrical. So that's it for this video, guys. It's Sunday night now. I need to go in and have some dinner, but this was some good progress. Now that I've got the roof up here, I can really start setting things up. I really want to get a nice interior cage, kind of like the opposite of an exoskeleton. I want to get it real tight and everything. And that's kind of a lot of work, and it's real meticulous. But I know from doing ratchet, I need to have the body panels in place and pretty rigid, so you can get in there with a tube, test it, come back out, go back in there with a tube, test it. You know, I'm going to be climbing in and out and in and out. So I need things to be set up fairly fairly well for that. So anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope it's helping you with whatever you're working on, and hopefully by the next video, I'll have the quarters, the doors, and the roof in here really securely, and we can start rolling and bending some tubing to get our interior roll cage in place. Thanks for watching the video. I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.